Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, how to foil a police raid with social security numbers. Today was a bad day and every ISP knew it was coming for a very long time. The Internet Product Director 10 years, 10 quotes. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. How to foil a police raid with social security numbers. A tale from a while back when I was still working frontline at telco.ca. I'm helping a customer reset his modem when 5 police officers, hands on their weapons and one holding a pair of handcuffs, come on the floor with a manager who looks like he's just seen a ghost. Bitewave, yes, leave it unplugged for 20 seconds then plug it back in. Actually, I need to check. A few more details about your modem, please hold. Cops are rapidly surrounding the desk of a coworker. I knew the guy a bit. Quite shy, practically a stereotype for the quiet nice geek with few people skills. I'm not sitting very far and am seeing the whole thing. Policeman, sternly, Andrew Matthews, 6th of July 1977? My shocked colleague shakes for a second and nods, and asks what's happening with genuine confusion on his face as they handcuff him. Policeman, you're under arrest. Breaking and entering with intent, committing indictable offense, fleeing in a motor vehicle from police. Andrew, panicking, what? I didn't do any of that. I just work here. Everyone is thinking Andrew wasn't the person we thought he was. Something's bugging me. Why the hell would he come to work if he was a wanted criminal, where his identity is officially recorded? He was identified by name and birth date. Andrew struggles because he's confused, so police proceeds to explain what happens when you resist arrest as gently as usual. It's a pretty brutal sight, everyone around is shocked. Curious of the odds, I run a search in our global customer database for Andrew Matthews, born on the 6th of July 1977. There's 2, one of them being of course the employee account of the criminal being arrested. At the time, we logged the SSNs of all our customers to help reduce fraud. This is no longer legal. I do my usual thing, involving myself in messes that aren't mine to deal with because it feels right. Bitewave, excuse me, officers? I know, not my place to interfere, but do you have the SSN of your fugitive? I have this Andrews right here logged in our systems. It could be helpful evidence? I'm gritting my teeth hoping I'm guessing right and that this is a major snafu. Police are rarely receptive to third parties interfering in arrests, but when they're offered potential evidence, they are bound to investigate. If he's innocent, worth a try. Deeply frowning policeman, show me. I show him the account of our Andrew, with his SSN logged in. No, it's the right one as it's tagged for employee discounts. The policeman in charge is looking at info he has written down and at my screen 3-4 times. Clearly a mismatch. Policeman. Are we 100% certain this SSN is accurate? Low-level manager, can't ever be sure for customers, but for employees, yes, this is verified thoroughly. Andrew offers his SSN card as proof. Policeman, towards Andrew, remove the handcuffs. You are to stay on premises until we clear this up. For the next couple hours, our building is surrounded by 4 police cars as the bureaucracy grinds on and everyone's gossiping about this. An HR suit walks in within minutes to take Andrew to a private room. Work more or less grinds on until we learn more. None of the 2 Andrews in our system matched the SSN they were looking for. Turns out a crime had taken place the night before, several cities away from our physical location, but our guy was the one police tracked down as the most likely, perhaps only, suspect in range that they had data on. No idea how they had a name and birth date at all. Huge relief when it became clear they were indeed arresting the wrong guy. They emailed a short sort of apology to his manager the next week. We never knew if they were able to find the real criminal nor any details on the alleged crimes. All suggests, of course, that the actual criminal was never logged into our systems at all. All of Bytewave's tales on TFTS. Today was a bad day, and every ISP knew it was coming for a very long time. Bit more technical than usual, and not directly about my job, so consider this an informational tale first and foremost. If you wonder why your internet has been acting up in North America in the last 24 hours, here's a graphical explanation. The Border Gateway Protocol entries in the forwarding information base finally hit 512K. Yes, 512K. The fact this caused major network issues in North America shows the fragility of the network caused by overuse of legacy hardware and software too many people never bothered to upgrade or maintain, even when the issues they would cause could be predicted a decade ahead of time. In short, it was an artificial problem because a bunch of people waited till it was broke to preempt the problem. For how long was this predictable? This graph shows a predictable growth pattern since 2002. Of course, there are slight variations of a day-to-day basis, but there are plenty of public tools demonstrating this was going to be a thing any day now. We raised the issue at the last 3 senior staff meetings as we were beginning to FL*RT with the red line, but for once, it really wasn't our company's fault. You can call major US partners and tell them about the fountain of wisdom, but you can't make them drink. On randomly goggled forums, blogs and such, average people were predicting it was imminent for days or weeks. Months in a couple places. Our telco wasn't, for once, a guilty party in this long-predicted snafu, but we sure felt the ripple effect as many of our links to the US suffered for it. Internet calls waiting still in the triple digit as I type this, despite explanation messages. Networks is working overtime to minimize impact, but as always tech support bears the complaints until it gets fixed. Obviously only one frontline agent out of 10 could vulgarize all this, assuming generously that their customers could understand a clear explanation. Senior staff lines been read all day despite multiple emails and ticker updates all essentially saying not our fault, our major partners forgot to invest in critical aspects of their infrastructure for over a decade, explain the problems nicely. While my job of repeatedly explaining the basics to contractors was slightly less dramatic than that of my colleagues at Networks Today, and less frustrating than it was for Frontline, I wanted to share. Once S*** hit the fan, our partners reacted pretty quickly, but it was definitely a few years late. It's much better now, but we may still have some lingering effects for a while. The fact that 512K limits on some live legacy hard/software are still a problem in 2014 is amazing all on its own. Still, the whole thing would have been mitigated or avoided if the IPv6 transition had occurred faster instead of everyone subnetting IPv4 so much. I assume others who were manning phones today have their stories to share about the effects this has had on their customers. Sysadmins surely have more perspective to share too. For me, once clear instructions were out, my day mostly consisted of explaining to employees repeatedly what they were reading and what it meant. At least for once, I can't even blame anyone in our company hard to fix some big major's unwillingness to ensure their Methuselah S*** is minimally able to respond to demand until all hell breaks loose. It's been pointed out that this event now has a name and a wiki. All of Bytewave's tales on TFTS. The Internet Product Director 10 years, 10 quotes. Recently, the director in charge of the technical aspects of everything related to our Internet products celebrated his 10th anniversary at work. Senior staff work with him whenever we need management to deal with something related to it. He's not terrible in the sense he usually gets things done, but he says the silliest things, and has the worst ideas at times, and I remember a bunch. He's not as dumb as he sounds here, but he doesn't think before saying the first thing that goes through his head. So I'm trying a different type of story, where I'll just give you one short quote from this guy each year he was with us. Years are approximate, my memory isn't that great. IPD, gamers are network abusers, we shouldn't waste any resources on calls about their pings. Bytewave, but these calls are how we troubleshoot most of our frequent internet latency issues. IPD, yeah, we keep getting blocked by other domains because there's too much spam sent from ours. We'll have to block port 25 and set it up to require authentication and ban spammers manually. Bytewave, wouldn't it be cheaper in the long run to try spam filtering solutions? No go. A year playing whack-a-mole with spammers and being banned on and off by major US domains. 2006, upon learning how much finally filtering spam would cost now that it was utterly unavoidable. IPD, we should just close these damn mail servers and tell them to get Hotmail accounts. This brings no revenue and it's such a pain. Bytewave, will we be paying to reprint their business cards? Waive cancellation fees for those who break their contracts? Be the only telco without mail servers in this country? Spam filtering ended years of garbage waste of time dealing with nonsense. The only calls we get about email are old ladies who can't configure Outlook by themselves now. IPD, no, we're not enlarging employees' internal mailboxes. All of systems resources are stretched to enlarge customer boxes. People are complaining they're too small. Bytewave, yeah, I'm complaining too. But hey, now that Gmail is public and spam filtered and offering 2Go space, we could also add redirection options to the webmail to help out the most size-hungry users, perhaps. Redirections went in, but our work mailboxes are still tiny. Shadow IT had to step in with an automatic archiving solution for senior staff. IPD, the low data caps and high overcharges are fine. People who bust them are thieves. If they don't want to pay for their movies, well, they'll still be paying for them on the bill we send them. Bytewave, so, I assume the money is being sent to the content creators? It obviously wasn't. IPD, what do you mean? There's sometimes errors on your payslips. That's all been computerized this spring. Bytewave, yes, to allow management to cut 5 pay clerk jobs. Ever heard about bugs with new software? IPD, personally I think we should do like our competitor and throttle torrents at least in peak times. They're network abusers and pirates. Bytewave, you heard about this sudden spike in new internet customers we've been getting since they started doing that the president was so proud of at the conference? Late that year, the new Veep took a radically different approach, ending data caps, overcharges, and going multi-band to increase speeds. IPD was excited that we were bold leaders in the market now. IPD, why do I have to deal with all the VoIP stuff? Shouldn't that go to the Hardlines director? Bytewave, VoIP is an acronym that stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. The infrastructure it uses and the ways and tools we use to troubleshoot issues with it are exactly the same than for non-voice data. The problems that arise with one will always. IPD, yeah, rhetorical. Smart as. 2012, speaking to a colleague coming back from a long sick break, I intentionally misdated this one for privacy. IPD, hey, haven't seen you around in forever. Heard you were sick, but you look fine. Was it like depression or something like that? Colleague, hey, thanks for your concerns. He hesitates and I step in. Bytewave, it's great that you care about the staff's health, but we don't want to get you in trouble with HR and their medical confidentiality department. Or have to call the union's health and safety VP. This stuff is taken very seriously. Coming from a manager that was very close to a honey, I got fired today, question. 2013, watching Frontlines calls rising at peak time. IPD, just heard we lost our North African contractors, they've all stopped taking calls at peak time. Didn't that happen already a year or two ago? What's wrong with them this time? Bytewave, they're having an army coup d'etat, power is down all over the city. Last time I think it was. Oh yeah, popular revolution, power down all over the city. But you're right, as I always say, they're unreliable as hell. Only time I ever sort of defended them, I swear. IPD, we really got screwed hard by the CRTC, forcing us to let resellers undercut us with our cable. We're hemorrhaging subscribers, and it's only getting worse. Ain't nothing we can do either. Bitewave, you're not wrong per se, though competition is generally a good thing, I believe, but in this context, and considering they're already undercutting us by 40%, do you know who okayed the cost increases on all our internet products that'll be effective next month? All of Bitewave's tails on TFTS.